are just a few miles from the Gulf Coast of Florida at Raymond James Stadium here in Tampa. Tonight on this fine Thursday night, we've got a good one in store, as it'll be the Atlanta Falcons taking on the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Up in the booth with Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin, and kickoff straight ahead, CD. What's one thing that you're going to have your eye on?
I think about what the great coaches of the past always said. The key to any ball game. Can you rush theirs and protect yours? Well, in this case, both of these teams get after the quarterbacks. I'm watching the pass rush.
Just about set for a start. Happy to have you with us, and we are underway here on Thursday Night Primetime. And he'll be stopped up at the 25. So out come the Bucs now for their first drive. Orchestrating the offense will be the top pick in the 2018 draft, and that's Baker Mayfield.
And he's a guy who plays with a lot of emotion. He's learned how to channel it really positively, because when he throws the football downfield and makes a big play, he'll be the first guy downfield to celebrate with you. But also, when his team needs that confidence, when they need that jolt, they turn to him, and he's ready to provide it.
They'll start on the ground with Irving. And the big boys up front, they're going to stop him right at the line. He'll on the game's first play. It's second down.
That felt like a trap, because it looked to me like the opposing front was on that play from the get-go. They had everyone crashing the ball carrier before he even made the line, and they hold him to just a yard.
They'll stay on the ground with Irving. Oh, he breaks a tackle, and he's got an alley. And he takes us up to the 40-yard line before being corralled. 15 yards as Tampa Bay picks up the first.
For a lot of guys playing this game, there's no better feeling than running right through a tackle. He's able to lower his center of gravity and turn his legs for a really nice pickup.
They go play action. Mayfield. It's caught by Mike Evans. Still going. Touchdown, Tampa Bay. Mike Evans, 59 yards. And the Buccaneers march right down the field in 3 plays to claim the early advantage. Charles, here in their opening series, they said they had certain plays scripted for certain players. That looked like a well-designed play to get one of their top targets involved.
Yeah, let's face it, Brandon. A player of his talent is a problem for any opponent to defend, and we saw it right there. They tried to deny an open lane to him. He still outplayed the coverage and scored the early touchdown. Good luck trying to figure out how to defend him as this game moves on.
Extra point by McLaughlin is up and good. And that makes the score 7-0.
Falcons, nothing.
Following the touchdown, here's McLaughlin to kick off. And able to take it past the 25 and up to the 28-yard line. So here are the Falcons now as they get set for their opening possession. Leading them out is their 6'2 quarterback who was a 4th-round pick back in 2012, Kirk Cousins.
And one nice thing you can always say about Kirk Cousins is that he's consistent. Always puts up nice numbers each and every year. If there is a downside to his game, it's been the lack of playoff success. All in all, though, a formidable starting quarterback at a time in the league where it's tough to find your franchise guy.
They'll send a receiver in motion to the left. And he edges forward, but only gets a pair of yards out of it, and it's second down.
Offense looked a little bit discouraged after that play, shaking their heads a bit, looking at each other. I think they thought they'd get a lot more out of that call. Sometimes you do get the running lane you want, and other times the defensive front, they just break up the play before it can get going.
Play action now. Cousins. Open man is Kyle Pitts, his tight end. And brought down, but not before reaching the 45-yard line.
15 yards.
15 yards, first down, Atlanta.
First down. First and 10 at the 45-yard line.
We'll see what kind of mindset they have here offensively after giving up the touchdown on the opening drive.
And based on our time with them, prior to this game, I feel like they've got a good mindset going in. In fact, the discussion we had with the coaching staff was, we may give up some points in this game, so our offense has to be ready each and every time to either equal or try and get us ahead and try and keep us ahead. This is their chance to respond to that first touchdown given up.
All told, it's an even 30 and a first down.
That's a nice run right there, able to get to the outside. And so many times defenses say, okay, we've got you hemmed in. But if you're running the football, at least you know where everyone is coming from. You don't have to worry about the backside at all. That allows you to run with a little bit more confidence as you traverse down the field.
And brought down, but not before they get it inside the 10 to the 7. 51 yards rushing for him now as he has gotten the night off to a hot start. Quite the opening drive march they're on right now.
It looks a lot like what we saw in practice prior to the game, doesn't it? Because on that last big practice beforehand, you go through your offensive script. You go through your play calling. You go through all the stuff and establish things, and it looks like it's going.
And down he goes. Pressure gets him back at the 14. Yaya Diaby, he's the one who got in there. He gets the sack. The first and goal looked like things were set up nicely, and now all of a sudden on second and goal, Charles, a big challenge ahead of them.
And you have to know when you're this close to the goal line, things are going to happen faster, so you've got to get the ball out quick. Not going to have much time in the pocket before the defenders bring pressure.
It's second and goal, but now all the way back at the 14. Now Cousins. Now he'll tuck this and run. And he slides and covers up at the end. This is going to be able to pick up decent yardage. Give him 7 there on the tuck and run, and they're in better shape now for third.
This early in the game, it's all about making steady progress downfield, hoping to lead to early points. And you can do it with your actual play calls, or sometimes something a little more improvised, as we just saw there.
Third and goal for Cousins. He'll try and do this himself. Now the hit comes, and Cousins lost the football. And now look at him go. And he returns it to the end zone. A fire recovery touchdown for the Bucs. How about that for a momentum swing? You had it goal to go. Not only do you cough it up, but they pick it up and return it all the way for a touchdown.
And now you have to give oxygen to the entire team because what a letdown that was. Terrific drive. Looked like you're going to get points. Instead, the other team registers them on the scoreboard.
McLaughlin for the extra point. And it's good, and they have jumped out here to a quick 14-0 first quarter lead. So not only the cough up, but then the pickup on the other side, the scoop, and the score the other way, the fumble return for a touchdown. And you can bet they're preaching two hands on the ball here as the kick's away following that fumble return. And he'll go down as this drive will start at the 25-yard line. So for the second time in this one, we get set to see the Falcons offense. They find themselves in a good-sized hole here, and a good-sized hole early on in this game as they come up on first down. to start it out. Robinson. And he'll manage to pick up about 4 at second down. Well, they're making an effort to get the ground game going tonight. So far, it's working.
I like what we're seeing from the offensive line. They seem to have the leverage going, and they're controlling things and reestablishing the line of scrimmage, moving that defensive front backwards. But I also like what the runner's giving us, too. It appears that he's been waiting all day long to get out here and take off.
They go play action. Cousins. Caught out left side by Robinson. And he slips up past the 45 before being tackled. 17 yards and a first down for Atlanta.
And the Falcons, first down. It's a gain of 17 yards. First down, Atlanta.
You can almost hear the sigh of relief coming from their sideline and from their point on the field, because this has been a tough start for them thus far. A much-needed first down there. They've needed something good to happen. Plays like that will continue to help them dig out of this hole. Nice rhythm throw there on first down. He located his tight end, made a nice easy pitch and catch.
Hoping he can break a tackle or two. Wasn't able to do that there, but still good yardage.
48-yard line.
This 2nd and 4. Now Cousins. That's caught by Werner, the tight end. Only able to gain a couple there. And it makes it 3rd down and 2 yards to go.
And there's a completion to the tight end. And look at the size of these players nowadays. At that spot, 6'4", 6'5", and up. A lot of guys used to be basketball players, somehow came back to football. And that's really good for the game of football. You're getting better athleticism, great hand-eye coordination, guys who know how to control their bodies when they run their routes.
And Robinson will not get there. Great defense at the point of attack to stop him short of the first.
An interesting and intriguing decision there defensively, because they kept extra DBs on the field despite seeing the multiple tight end look that came out for the offense.
I thought they were going to switch out of it. I didn't know if they felt they didn't have time or what the case was.
Well, in any event, the extra speed allowed for great penetration as they stuffed that one behind the line of scrimmage.
4th down, Cousins. Moved in the middle of the field, and he's got a man complete. And he's corralled, but not before getting it inside the 35. The conversion is successful with a sizable gain of 13, and the decision to go for it looks like a smart one. So now following the roll of the dice, they've got a 1st and 10 inside the 35. On the counter, this is Robinson. And he'll get what he can up the middle, 3 yards. That'll bring up 2nd down.
Not a run that you're going to write home about, but still a good first down run. That's what an offense calls staying on schedule. 3 to 4 yards on first down, you're set up very well for the rest of the drive.
Counting down toward the midway point in quarter 1. Working out of the gun, Cousins. And a quick throw here, that's complete. And this is going to lead to another first down as the tackle's made at the Bucs 19. It's a gain of 11, and the Falcons pick up the first.
What a drive. This has been just chewing up the yardage, and here's one of their best plays yet as they finally get down into the red zone and look to finish this off with 6.
To throw, Cousins. Looking middle, and that's complete. And the Falcons are going to have a 1st and goal as he's taken down at about the 8-yard line.
Just picking up yardage in bunches here these last few plays. They have moved right down the field, and just like that, they're going to be set up with a 1st and goal.
1st and goal, and they got to be thinking a chance to get right back into this football game. Cousins now. Quick hitter here, it's complete. They'll get this halfway home from the 8 to the 4 on a gain of 4.
They gave up the completion there, but this is what zone defenses count on. Catching the ball and not much run after the catch.
2nd and goal from inside the 5. Robinson will score. Touchdown, Atlanta. finishes off the drive with a touchdown run, Charles. Remember, he also had a catch on this drive as well.
And that's what running backs want to be in today's NFL, a complete back. 3 downs, stay on the field, run it, and catch it, and he gets it done.
Zane Gonzalez on for the extra point. And that one makes it 14-7. So that one a long 11-play drive. And it was Bijan Robinson who took it home with a touchdown run. Following the touchdown now, it's Bradley Pinion on to kick this one away. Now a crease here as he's past the 30. And all in all, a pretty solid return. Nearly got it to the 35. They'll mark him down officially at the 34. Tampa Bay, they're getting ready to set up shop here for their second drive. So both of these teams, Charles, coming off touchdowns now, but this offense, they just had to stand on the sideline, watch their opponent author a really impressive drive to reach the end zone.
Yeah, and I think you're not telling yourself the truth if you don't think there's some one-upsmanship going on right now, because they just had their touchdown answered by a drive of double-digit plays that also found the end zone. Now they want to do something even more impressive to answer that one. Well, that was his first target of the game, and it's going to take at least one more target to get him on the board. Took a nice substantial hit to jar that catch loose from him. Incomplete pass.
Now a 2nd and 10. Mayfield will find his rookie wideout from Ohio State here. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. It's the first time that they've looked his way tonight, and he comes up with a first down on the play.
At the 48-yard line.
So many times in my career I've heard coaches talk about completions are one thing, but as long as we're there at the catch and we get guys on the ground, we can live with that. But if you're going to give up 10, 12, 15 yards after the catch, then your defense is going to be in a lot of trouble.
A quick throw there is incomplete.
A lot of times it's that first read that you have. Maybe you get it in pre-snap and he locked in on his target, but he was covered quite well, and that one's incomplete.
Here's 2nd and 10. In motion left, Godwin. Mayfield to throw it. There's a short one taken in by Otten. And he'll be out just a yard or two shy of the 30. It's his first catch, and it'll be good for 15 and a first down.
And it's a real luxury when you have a guy who can turn a short throw into a solid gain at any moment. Once he caught that ball, he ID'd where the open grass was and got there in a hurry to pick up a new set of downs for his offense.
On 1st and 10, here's Irvin. And he's taken down, but not before reaching the 10-yard line. 23 yards on the pickup there and a first.
That's another Buccaneers first down.
He had his eyes on the end zone once he hit the secondary, but they're finally able to slow him down.
Yeah, and I've got to look at this one from the defensive point of view. You just mentioned finally able to slow him down. They've got to figure out a way to make that at the point of attack, at the line of scrimmage, because once he gets through, he's shredding them.
That's good for a gain of 6, 2nd and goal.
An ex-teammate used to tell me all the time, I hate experienced quarterbacks because no matter what, You really can't hide what you're doing. And I think that right there, he knew right away where the blitz was coming from, where his primary guy was going to be, and he ended up going to a secondary target for a nice game.
I was just going to ask you, that wasn't the primary target, and he's so good at that, isn't he?
I think he knew right away that he wasn't going to get to his primary guy. I think he read that as soon as he got to the line of scrimmage, knew where the pressure was going to come from, and said, I know how to beat that, and that's what he did.
No question, he's so dangerous down here near the goal line. The safeties, they have to be involved in run support against a quarterback like this, and in turn, they're going to ask their teammates to be involved as well.
Now Mayfield on 3rd and goal. And it'll be intercepted. Picked off by Xavier Watts. And the Falcons are going to take possession here. It's a touchback, and they'll take over at the 20-yard line. Charles, one thing that he referenced to us yesterday was his confidence fitting the ball into any window, but obviously that window was a little too tight, and it was closing in a hurry.
And he was talking to us about having anticipation in making those types of throws. Down near the goal line, I don't think you can anticipate it as much as you need to see it open. You've got to be precise with your throws down here in the red zone. That one goes into double coverage, and he gets picked off.
Looking to put a drive together. He'll get it to Robinson to begin the drive. And this will leave him a yard short. Nice pickup of 9 yards on first down. You often say that sort of opens the playbook now, 2nd and short. What do you think, early shot here?
I like where you're going. Obviously, we've been together for a while because you know me. I want to take that shot early and loosen things up.
Up at the 29 now, they'll head to the line, 2nd and a yard. Short throw caught by Pitts. And he'll be tackled right on the chalk of the 45. The catch and run there, good for 16 and a first.
Oh, that was a nice job there. Quarterback and receiver reading the pressure that was brought. They both knew it was going to open up the middle of the field. Nice little shake and bake at the line of scrimmage, got right into his route. And the quarterback hit him in stride, and he was able to run free after the catch.
On 1st and 10, it's Robinson. And he's able to get across midfield and down into Buccaneer territory. And hold on here, because on that last run, it looks like we have a player who was shaken up. The medical staff will attend to him, and we will step aside. Second and 5. On play action, Cousins. All in all, no gain on the play, and it'll bring up 3rd.
But one of the things we talked about coming into this was that we were never going to question the fight that he's going to have for all 4 quarters of a game. But ideally, you want him fighting for big plays and first downs early, not fighting just to get back to the line of scrimmage, as we saw right there.
3rd and 5. Cousins. And unable to connect. Incomplete. I'll give them credit. They took their shot, but it's going to bring up 4th down.
Well, they've got man coverage on the outside, and my scouting report on these DBs tells me that they love to take matters in their own hands. They want man coverage, not zone. And there was good coverage there that forced the incompletion.
The punt team on now as Pinion sends this one away. And the punt goes out of bounds, so no chance to bring it back, and they will spot it at the 24-yard line. And Tampa Bay trots out there now. A big mistake last time they were on the field, tossing that interception inside the red zone and really taking away what had been a pretty successful drive up to that point.
Yeah, and I don't think there's any question about it. As they head out on the field for this drive, that whole offensive unit is just thinking redemption. You know, they moved it really well, didn't pay it off. This time, they want to make sure that ball ends up in the end zone, and they're the ones possessing it.
And they're able to get this one across the 35. Right off the bat, it's a first down to start the drive, 12 yards.
Nice little nifty play for him there. Yeah, that's the ability to read a defense and utilize players that don't often get picked up in coverage easily. And I'm talking about being able to use the backs out of the backfield. Because I know that when I used to cover, hey, we got everybody oh, he just stuck out there, and they just got a nice first down there.
What do we love to say? Get those backs into... Oh, he faked it with a juke. Now he's got some room. And he's going to be out of bounds, but not before he takes it inside the 40. 28 yards the gain there on the catch and run.
And this was a nice example of an offensive coordinator scheming his guy open. Just a little underneath route, just trying to free up some space, and it worked awfully well. Got him not just space, but plenty of room to run after the catch to pick up really nice yardage.
And this play will be blown up. He'll lose yardage back at the 38. Excellent effort defensively. Tackle for loss goes to Leonard Floyd.
That's a nice job there, foiling what all offenses try to do, which is control the defensive end in the running game. They want to get to the outside, and if he keeps himself free, stays on his feet, he can make a play just as he did there.
And that one incomplete, but now a penalty flag coming in late. That might be PI. So they saw the contact before the ball arrived. Penalty flag for pass interference.
And trying to avoid pass interference is so difficult. You're trying to slow down these skilled receivers, and somehow, some way, they make plays on the football, and sometimes you're there too soon.
Over the middle, he finds Godwin complete. They'll get him to the ground at the 20 following a pickup of 4.
A gain of 4. It's now 2nd and 6 at the 20-yard line.
The ball resting on the 20. Here's 2nd and 6. Mayfield now. Toward the back corner of the end zone, but he could not get the feet down. This will wind up incomplete.
They decided the opportunity was there and launched a deep ball, but he was unable to get away from the defender. Couldn't create space, couldn't uncover at the end of the route, and that one winds up incomplete.
So after the 2nd down incompletion, they'll come up now against a 3rd and 6. Now Mayfield. He's got his receiver. That's Ibuka. And he is going to have a Bucs first down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion.
A gain of 9 yards. That's another Buccaneers first down. 1st and 10 at the 11-yard line.
Well, they've had a great, impressive drive going here, and that pickup ensures the drive continues.
And not only do you continue the drive, which is demoralizing for the guys on the defensive side of the ball right now, but you make your own defense happy. They're able to get a little more rest over on the sidelines while this one continues downfield.
And here he'll get it down to the 7. He'll get 4 yards on the carry there, and we will get to the end of the first quarter of play. Through one quarter, 14-7 our score. Second quarter now in Tampa Bay. It's the Buccaneers in control of the football. 2nd and 6 with the ball on the 7. As they've got it as we resume action. To throw, Mayfield. They'll try and set up the screen. It's complete. And he's into the end zone for a Tampa Bay touchdown. Bucky Irving from 6 yards away. And the Bucs go up by 2 touchdowns.
That score was not a game clincher by any stretch of the imagination. But the other team now has to be careful to not let this game begin to slip away.
McLaughlin now to add the PAT. It's good, and it is now 21-7.
Makes the score.
So that drive takes him down the field in 8 plays. And it ends with a touchdown for the Bucs. Following the touchdown, here's McLaughlin to kick off. And he'll take it up past the 25 to the 26-yard line. Bijan Robinson leading the offense out for another drive. And the ground game's been good, but they're losing here in the second quarter. Can they use that ground game maybe to work the air attack a little bit more?
I think so, because now you can throw play action off of being able to run the ball effectively. And oftentimes you might want to just swing your back out of the backfield, get the ball in his hands in open space. And just don't get totally away from running it, because some of these runs now, they may pop bigger as the game goes along.
Yeah, they've been good with a run so far. And he will lose yardage here back at the 23-yard line. A loss of a full 3 yards, and now it's second down.
Yeah, another negative play in an early down situation. This one to start the drive. You're putting a lot of pressure on your quarterback to bail you out when you're in second and long yardage.
So now they have to contend with 2nd and 13 after the first down run goes backwards. Dumps this one off to Algier. They get 11 back on that one. It leads to 3rd down.
It's a gain of 11, and it's 3rd down.
The Falcons on 3rd down. 0 for 3 to this point. They could use a conversion. This time they face a 3rd and 2. Pass taken in by his big tight end. And he'll be out of bounds up near the 45 at the 44. They call his number again. It's his 6th catch and a 1st down.
When you're struggling on offense, you're looking for anything possible to get you going. Sometimes you do it like basketball teams that don't normally press. You put a press on, bring people to life, make them move a little bit quicker. Maybe that'll help them as they head towards the half.
And running room scarce here. He's going to be stopped in his tracks at the line of scrimmage. He'll lose a yard there, and it's 2nd and 11.
They have 3 tight ends in that formation. That's almost a universal sign that they're planning to run the football. But how about the defense there? They met force with force and caused a stack up behind the line of scrimmage and threw him for a loss.
Now the hit comes, and Cousins lost the football. And it's picked up by the Buccaneers. And his crew will take over with the football at the 35-yard line. He already had the 1 fumble loss, so now 2 fumbles lost here in this first half.
Not setting the pace the way that you want it done. I mean, here in the first half, already twice the ball's come out and hit the turf. Got to find a way to take care of it. Otherwise, they may have to start thinking about maybe someone different at that position.
Now the Buccaneer offense set to take over again. For this offense, Charles, remember the last time they were out here, marched it nearly the full length of the football field, and a lot of the attack went through the air, so now they're seeing if they can duplicate that performance.
Okay, if I show my age a little bit, partner, because I can hear my high school coach, John Ford. I can hear his voice in my head. Laddie, when you put the ball in the air, 3 things can happen, and 2 of them are bad. For the way the game's being played now, this is just part of what they do, so I don't think they should change anything at all. They've been dominant. Keep throwing it around.
15 yards as Tampa Bay picks up the first.
1st and 10 at the 20-yard line.
Good, strong throw and catch right there. And so far in this game, the alleys have been open for them to get completions, and they're taking advantage of it.
Baker going to give it to Irvin. And he'll get him inside the 15 down to the 14-yard line. 47 yards rushing for him now to this point.
That was a good run, and it got to the 2nd level. And what I mean by that is that's where the linebackers usually play. First level being the defensive front, last level being the secondary. But the strong safety position ended up making the tackle, and oftentimes we call them a hybrid. Combination defensive back, combination linebacker. We saw the linebacker make the stop.
He had the touchdown earlier. This one's going to get him a 1st down.
They kept the receiver in the short field, but that let his quarterback get the ball quickly to him before either guy in double coverage could react.
Straight ahead, it's Irvin. Looking for a seam, but finding none. He'll get back to the line of scrimmage, and that's it. Only a yard that time, 2nd and goal.
Not a whole lot there on 1st and goal, and that's what you're looking for defensively. You'll certainly live with giving up just a yard or 2 in this situation.
Here's 2nd and goal, operating from the 8-yard line. Play action now. Here's Mayfield. This will be caught just inside the 10. And they'll be driven back here, losing yardage to the 9. They'll wind up losing a yard on the play, and that'll bring up a 3rd down and goal. And that was a heck of a play there on the outside.
Partner, sometimes I think on a play like this as a corner, you've got to think to yourself, all I got to do is slow him down so others can come over and support. But in this case,
and he's got it. Caught in the end zone. Touchdown, Tampa Bay. Cade Otton from 8 yards out. And the Buccaneers take a 3-touchdown lead. No surprise there. 3rd and goal down here. That's where they're going to look for their tight end.
Yeah, you want that big guy running his routes because it doesn't matter who they cover him with. If it's another big guy, he might use his bulk against him. If it's a shorter defender, might go over the top. Either way, you tend to find a little bit of a mismatch in that area.
McLaughlin for the extra point. He knocks it through. It's 28-7. A drive that time of 6 plays. And Cade Otton capped things off with a touchdown grab. Following the touchdown, here's McLaughlin to kick off. And he'll be tackled just shy of the 25. The Falcons offense and running back Bijan Robinson set to take over once more. He's been a tough man to stop in this first half. He's putting up some big numbers already, and we have yet to reach halftime. The Atlanta offense out there for their next drive. Last time out, they had the fumble. That led to the touchdown. Not a great look on either side of the ball as the defense gave up the points too, Charles. But they've got to take care of the football and do better here on this possession.
It's certainly been a tough stretch, partner, for both of those units in there. Kind of put their defensive mates in a really tough spot there by dropping the ball on the ground. But an easy way to make it up to them, get out there now and get some points on this drive.
And the ball on the 30. Here's 2nd and 4. Throwing, Cousins. And that'll be off the mark, too far out in front, and it's incomplete.
I know coaches tell us all the time that having a powerful arm isn't the number one thing they look for in a quarterback. But when you're trying to throw inside routes and you need to put some heat on it, it helps have the big gun. In this case, just a little bit too much.
Now they face a 3rd down and 4 after that incompletion on 2nd down. The tight end in motion right. Cousins to throw it. Short throw caught by Pitts. And he's going to have a Falcons first down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion.
Well, a lot of times when you get a manageable 3rd down situation like this, you have to think about your tight end, and he comes through for him, picking up the first down.
On 1st and 10, it's Algier. And strong running there as he's across midfield and down to the 49. They get 10 more there, and I believe that'll be enough for another first down. It will.
Partner, if you want more carries, I think we saw how you get him. Showed that he's got the fresh legs, and he picked up the first down on that run. Don't just ask for him. Show him that you're supposed to get the football.
So first down, and they'll stick with Algier. And they're able to work this to the 25 before it's all said and done. Good yardage as he rumbles for 24 and a first. Once he broke through that first wave of defenders, there was a pretty big gap there for him to run.
And it helps that they were in a dime defense. That's 6 defensive backs. So this is why a lot of teams now are searching for those linebacker safety combo type guys who can add a little bit more size on the defensive side of the ball, but can still run as well, because when you run against 6 DBs with some bigger offensive linemen, you often get this result.
Yeah, that's good for a gain of 6, and that will bring up second down.
Fired that one in there, able to make connection on a nice in route.
With those faster passes when they're going that fast, any hesitation as a quarterback that the deflection, if you miss, might be bigger and lead to an interception?
Yeah, and the deflection works both ways. Maybe a defender gets a hand in the way and it pops in the air, and sometimes you throw it so hard your receiver can't handle it, and he pops it up in the air for the defenders to grab as well.
But a moot point there as they were able to connect.
As usual, the hallmark of a good run defense, linebackers making plays near the line of scrimmage. Absolutely nowhere to run there.
The Falcons on third down, 2 for 5 to this point. This is 3rd and 4. Here's Cousins. Able to find the open man. That's complete. And the Falcons are going to have 1st and goal as they try to finish off this drive with 6 points.
And the Falcons, 1st down. 1st and goal.
And this is an offense in need of getting a few good things to happen. Here's one right here. They've had their share of struggles in key moments, but that's a nice throw and nice work after the throw. And they're set up now with a 1st and goal.
Cousins setting up the screen. Here's Algier. No gain on the screen there. It's 2nd down.
Well, that was a simple throw and catch, but even with that completion, 0 yards gained. So they're behind schedule on down and distance.
I think they were hoping to get it to him. He can make a man or 2 miss, but that window closed quickly. 2 of their 3 red zone trips so far they've come up empty on. They'll look to reverse that trend on 2nd and goal. Algier going straight ahead. And he's able to get it down to the 2-yard line. It'll be a gain of 5, and it's going to set up a 3rd and goal.
I don't have to stretch for this one. This is 4-down territory. They've got to get it in with the deficit that they're facing.
Absolutely. It's not the 4th quarter, but still, I think you can't be thinking 3 here.
No, if you do that, you might as well go ahead and fold up on this one, but I don't think they're built like that.
And this one will wind up with him losing yardage back to the 4-yard line. They'll wind up losing a couple yards here on the play, and that will bring up an interesting decision here on 4th and goal.
I know we saw the pass and the completion and obviously the resulting loss of yardage. To me, that play broke down with the blocking on it, because if you're going to try and swing it that far outside, that blocking's got to hold up to give your guy a chance.
And the defense, they weren't fooled at all.
No, not at all. Boy, were they aggressive on that one.
Now Cousins on 4th down. And that is caught. Touchdown, Falcons. From 4 yards out. And the Falcons take a chance, but they find pay dirt on 4th and goal. Big 4th down conversion for the score, and the defense, that is a tough pill to swallow.
Big time for them. How about them just deciding to go for it on 4th down? And, okay, forget the field goal, because that looked like an easy 3 points. Yeah, you might have had a defensive breakdown in there, but they pressed the issue and found a way to get it into the end zone. Give them big credit for that.
Gonzalez now to have the extra point. It's up and good, and it's now 28-14. So that drive, 12 plays in length. And the end result, an Atlanta touchdown. Now Pinion with the kickoff honors following the touchdown. And he's up across the 25 and down at the 28. Baker Mayfield leads the offense out for their next possession. He really continues to pick apart this defense. Last drive, perfect, and it culminated in his 3rd touchdown pass.
As long as we've been doing this, how many times has a player in this type of a zone described the game as really slowed down?
Yep.
So right now, instead of warp speed, it's
snail's pace.
Oh, snail's pace for him, and he can do whatever he wants. Feels like he has all the time in the world to throw the ball, and his offensive line has been giving him that.
On the throw, led him too much that time. It's incomplete.
I see the surprise in your face there, partner. That is a rare incompletion from him. He's been on point this entire game.
He has percentage completion-wise way up. Not that time. 2nd and 10. Here's Mayfield. And that is incomplete.
That's some good closing speed there defensively because that looked open for a minute. But that's great work with the ball in the air. Never gave up, converged on his man, and broke the play up.
Now they face a 3rd and 10 after back-to-back incompletions. Throwing, Mayfield. He's got his target. That's complete. And he is going to have the Buccaneers first down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion.
16 yards.
But things are definitely going right for them here in the first half. Pick a down, any down, even 3rd down, no problem. They get a connection there and pick up a fresh set of downs, continuing to move the ball.
Now a fake on the jet sweep, and they'll instead run up the middle. And a strong run that time as he's across midfield and down to the 43. 61 yards for him on the ground so far tonight as he has been terrific in this first half.
Most of their damage has been done through the air. I mean, they've rung the bell 3 times with passing touchdowns, but guess what? Ground game has not been neglected. Nice little burst right there.
Once again, it's Irvin. 5 yards is the tally on first down. That brings up 2nd and 5.
Brandon, 5 yards on that run. Let's get back to the huddle and make sure if you're a back, you spend time with your offensive line and give them credit. Hard to move those 300-plus pounders at the line of scrimmage, and they did for a significant chunk of yardage.
A run up the middle with Irvin. Oh, able to avoid him. And some strong running there as he's down just shy of the 20 on the edge of the red zone. It's a gain of 16, first down Tampa Bay.
We both know it's difficult, but they've made it look effortless out there. Through the air, on the ground, they've moved the ball with relative ease.
They'll try to throw here. Mayfield. Across the formation, he finds Godwin. 10 more there and another first down. And defensively, they were in zone coverage there. Do you have to be a little careful you're losing playing against a good quarterback like he is to not play too much zone?
Yeah, you have to be careful about how much time you're giving up. I think it's a good point you just brought up. So maybe if you still want to play zone, you go to a zone blitz scheme. And you can drop anyone out of your defensive front, defensive end, defensive tackle. It doesn't matter. You just exchange someone to bring more pressure towards the quarterback and still try and cover downfield. I know it was a game, but you have to sense probably a little bit of disappointment there because when it's out there in open space, I think they expect to get more out of a play, don't you?
Especially when you're getting it to your guy out of the backfield. You're expecting him to be able to create something, be a little more shifty.
Yeah, no doubt about it. Good open field tackling.
And he's into the end zone. Touchdown, Buccaneers. Cade Otton with his 2nd touchdown here in this first half. As his guys have opened up a very comfortable lead. So the numbers are starting to pile up here early on. We have yet to reach halftime, yet that is already now 4 touchdown passes. McLaughlin now to add the PAT. And he's been a busy man, 5 for 5 now as he knocks another one through to extend the lead. And now we'll get a stoppage here. There appears to be an injured Falcon on the field. So as the medical staff takes a look, we'll step aside. Following the touchdown, here's McLaughlin to kick off. And the tackle going to be made right there at the 25-yard line. The Falcons offense and Kirk Cousins getting ready for this next possession. And he's had things all his way in this first half. The numbers sensational as he'll look to add to them with another drive here. About set to begin their next drive. The Falcons offense at the line. They're down 3 touchdowns to this point, needing to put something together as they have it 1st and 10. That's complete to Mooney. And he's taken down, but able to slip across the 35. The drive starting with a 1st down, 11 yards on that pickup. It's been a very one-sided game so far. They got to change what they're doing right now, don't they? You can't wait till the halftime speech to make an adjustment.
No, you can't, because if you're doing it right, you're adjusting from series to series, and they need a big adjustment here to try and put some points on the board.
They'll give Downs here out of the gun. Trying to run inside, but nothing there. Levante David in on the tackle. He can rack up those tackles in bunches in the run game from that middle linebacker spot.
And what he has to do is make sure he congratulates the guys in front and tells them thanks a lot, because as the guy in the middle, the Mike linebacker, you're counting on your front 3, your front 4, front 5, whatever you've got in front of you to take up all the blocking, allow you to roam and hit. And that's what he did on that play.
And this throw incomplete. Well, the defender all over him that time, but it's going to lead to 3rd down. He did an okay job of absorbing the hit, just couldn't secure the football through the catch.
And he was right there on the spot and forced the incompletion. That's something defenders work on all the time. If you're there, make the contact, but continue to work your way through the receiver so that you can't possess the football and turn it into a catch.
And not enough on the throw that time, as that one is incomplete.
That could be the stop this defense needed to get them back on track. They've been pretty well dissected by the offense here in the first half. After that possession, now they know that they can compete with this offense.
So on now is the Clemson man, Bradley Pinion, to punt this one away. It's a 42-yard punt. They keep him to just a yard on the return. And the Bucs will get ready to go on offense. Getting set to go again as we look at the back, heading onto the field again. He's been good. His guys are winning. So far, the recipe working here in the second quarter.
He doesn't like to just tote the rock. He wants to carry his team on his back. And that's what he's done throughout this game.
Yeah, he's done that. He'll be hoping to continue that trend. Now Mayfield and the Bucs come up on 1st and 10 at their own 21. On the ground, it's Irving to start the drive. And past the 40 before he's out of bounds. 103 yards rushing for him now as he's run it 11 times.
This guy's well on his way now to a big game on the ground. It's another good run there. Puts him over the century mark in yardage, and we're still in the second quarter.
One play has him up past the 40 already, and another 1st and 10. Mayfield looks to throw. And the Falcons get there. The Falcons get the sack. Down he goes. After the sack on 1st down, Mayfield. And pressure coming, and they got him once again. They bring a man off the corner that time, and he gets home for a loss of 6.
And it has been a good game for them. They haven't been pressured very much today, but on back-to-back sacks, maybe the defense is starting to figure something out.
Need something from deep in the bag of tricks here after 1st and 2nd down went backwards. It's 3rd and very long. Back to throw. Oh, the pressure too great, and he goes down once more. Now the Falcons going to use one of their timeouts as they'll head to the sideline and talk over what to do next. So on 4th down, on is Riley Dixon to punt for Tampa Bay. The Falcons send Jamal Agnew deep to return. And it's fielded at the 34. They'll call it a punt of 44 yards. The return was for 7. And it will be Falcon football. Here comes the Atlanta offense now ready to take over here. The last series for them, a little disappointing, forced a punt. But now they'll try to do better here and come away with some points as they begin this drive, 1st and 10. Very good starting field position for the Falcons offense as they come up 1st and 10 at the 41-yard line. To throw is Cousins. And this pass is caught by London. And he's going to get this down to the 35-yard line. 23 yards, the final tally.
First down.
Now that's the kind of big play you'd like to see. This first half, it hasn't gone their way, and they could use a shot in the arm, something to perk them up a bit. And they get one here in the passing game.
Throws right back to London, complete again. The Falcons going to use the second of their timeouts as they'll stop it with a little over 30 seconds to go in the first half of play.
The goal of a wide receiver screen is get enough blockers in front to create a wall and let him pick his spot to run the football. How about the defense there, swarming to it and not allowing that to happen? Did not let him get downfield.
2nd down and 8. To throw, Cousins. And this will be caught by Mooney. And this is going to lead to another first down as the tackle's made at the Bucs' 20-yard line. They give them 14 yards that time and a fresh set of downs.
A gain of 14. And a Falcon first down.
And with just 4 seconds left in this first half, a timeout call. So with 4 seconds to go in the half, here's the field goal unit onto the field. Gonzalez's kick is good. And the deficit drops now from 21 down to 18. So no problems at all on that one. And you know, there's virtually no wind. This is a kicker's dream here tonight.
It absolutely is, isn't it? So to me, with no wind, it should be a passer's dream as well, right? But in this case, the defense held out. They had to force the field goal.
So still time for the kickoff here. 1 second to go in the half as this one is away. And not wanting to risk anything here late in the half, he'll just take a knee and they'll bring the football out to the 25.
At their own 35-yard line.
The Bucs offense set to begin their next possession. 1 second, all that remains. They'll indeed start on the ground to run that clock. And he's going to be taken down here as that will lead us to the end of the first half of play.
All right, Brandon, thanks much. Welcome in, everyone, to the Orlando studios. Scott Hansen with you for a quick recap of the first half, which has been strongly one-sided. This is heading towards blowout territory unless they can come from behind and get themselves a victory. Let's find out what happens in the second half. Let's go back out to the commentary team, Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
All right, Scott, great work as always. We'll see what the second half brings here. These two defensive coordinators probably scratching their heads at intermission. These offenses, they have had their way so far. It'll be Falcons football, and they trail here as we get back underway on EA Sports. Dances by him. And he'll get it up across the 20 to the 21-yard line. So we get set to start this third quarter. Here's the Falcons offense now. And you have to think, Charles, down 3 scores already. They need to play an almost perfect second half to have a solid chance.
And that absolutely starts with finding some way to put together a touchdown drive here. They need to be smart, fast, efficient, get the ball into the end zone, and do it again multiple times in order to have a chance to win this game.
Starting the drive with Algier. And he goes nowhere. He'll lose yardage back at the 17. Stuck for a loss by the safety, Antoine Winfield Jr.
Well, if these guys are going to chop into that deficit, they got to do a much better job in the run game. Caught behind the line of scrimmage, no yardage to be found.
A 3-yard loss to start the drive. They'll look to make that up and then some on 2nd and 13. Got a man, and he hits him in stride. And able to break one tackle, but then quickly brought down. But a nice little gain.
And it brings up 3rd down.
This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on 3rd down. From the shotgun, it's Cousins. Firing quickly here, and that's complete. And this will not be enough. On 3rd and 5, he only gets 3.
Well, it looks like they got what they wanted. They got the completion, but they weren't able to break any tackles or gain nearly enough yardage to pick up the first down. Now to be 4th and short.
Here's Bradley Pinion now as he's on to punt for Atlanta. It's a 46-yard punt, 2 on the return. And out will come the offense as they take over. Here comes the Buccaneers offense. They get their first reps of the second half. Now Mayfield and the Bucs come up on 1st and 10 at their own 26. They'll start on the ground with Irving. And he can only manage to get a couple. 2nd and 8 coming up.
Typically, we think it's the strong safeties that are better tacklers, especially closer to the line of scrimmage amidst traffic. But in this case, how about the free safety coming up and making the big-time play?
From the 29, here's 2nd down and 7. The slot man in motion right. Mayfield. And there's a short one taken in by Otten. He's been big. 2 touchdowns earlier. Now he's got a first down here.
And the tight end is certainly a position built to move the chains because they can control space underneath. If they've got good hands, then, of course, they're a dynamic target. But one other thing is they're right in the sight lines of a quarterback on just about every play. And that makes it easier for the quarterback to pick him out and deliver.
And he'll go down right around the 47 this time. Okay, take us to school here, Charles. On a play like that, pretty successful RPO. What's the quarterback looking at?
Basics. He's looking at the defensive end or the outside linebacker. If that player crashes down to take the running back, quarterback pulls it, runs to the outside end. Some teams, though, will read different players depending on defenses, but basically it's that outside play.
And he'll get it out a couple yards shy of midfield at the 48. 2 yards, good enough for a first.
2nd and inches is oftentimes an invitation for an offense coordinator to take a big shot downfield because he feels like he can come back on 3rd down and pick up the first down. But sometimes you just don't want to break tendency. Stay with what you are, stay with who you know, and go get the first down. That's exactly what they do.
Now he's able to take it across midfield before going out of bounds. So 5 yards here, 5 on the play. And that'll bring up 2nd down.
What I love about watching the passing game nowadays is that the one-dimensional receiver is really starting to leave the game. You've got to be able to do it all. Of course, you got to run fast. Of course, you got to catch the ball. But route running savvy and toughness,
There's a premium for all of that now.
And he'll go down shy of 40 at the 41. They call his number again. It's his 6th catch and a first down.
Another Buccaneers first down. 1st and 10 at the 41-yard line.
They run out of the gun with Irvin. And not a whole lot of room to operate there on the first down run. He gets maybe 3.
He's brought down.
Yeah, I don't know if it's exactly a win-win, but if you're on offense, you'll take that kind of a run, all right? It was kind of stacked up, found a little bit of yardage, and frankly, they're pretty close to staying on schedule on offense. The playbook is still open for the coordinator.
They'll stay on the ground with Irvin. Oh, he's got a little daylight. They'll head out of bounds inside the 10. Mark it down at the 9. That one 28 yards on the ground.
Looks to me like maybe there's a little attrition setting in with this drive, because when you see that type of a run, I get the feeling the defense getting a little bit tired.
And that's the last thing they need, especially when they look up at the scoreboard. Here's White. And from the 9, they get this to the 5-yard line.
Hat tip to that offensive line. They're clearing some holes, even down here deep in the red zone. And that's a nice pickup on the ground on 1st and goal.
And the ball smack dab on the 5-yard line. Here's 2nd and goal. Here's a handoff to Irvin. And he will push his way forward down to about the 3-yard line. And give him 2 yards officially, and now it'll be 3rd and goal. 2 straight shots on the ground. Now on 3rd, do you go to the air?
I think the possibility exists, and if you're doing it, you're probably going play action since you ran it twice. But I often think that 2nd down is the time you go play action and throw the ball. I say commit to the run and think about it.
And Evans calls it in. Touchdown, Bucs. Mike Evans, his 2nd touchdown of the night. And the Buccaneers are able to stretch out their lead. There was no going through the progressions on that touchdown pass.
Yeah, nor was it necessary. His receiver won that route early, presented himself. No reason to wait. Go ahead and put it on him and score a touchdown.
McLaughlin for the extra point. And they open the lead up now to 25 points. A pretty long drive that time. 11 plays all told. And it's Mike Evans who caps it with a touchdown reception.
Chase McLaughlin.
Following the touchdown, here's McLaughlin to kick off. And he won't quite make it to the 25. Here comes the Falcon offense now as they get set to take over here. And Charles, a very uninspired effort the last time we saw them out there was a quick 3-and-out, then they punted the football.
Yeah, and you never want to get stopped so soundly during a series, but what would be even worse now is letting it happen again right here. They've got to get going.
Looking to put a drive together. Gives it to Algier to start things off. And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. Coming in to put a lick on him was Levante David.
You got to figure the further they fall behind, the more you think that they'll get away from the run. They're trying to stick with it, but the results, they just aren't there.
So the opening play of the drive goes backwards. Now they'll come up on 2nd and 12. Now Cousins. Now they go screen. It's complete. And up to the 35 before they're able to knock him down. 12 yards is the pickup. Good for a first down for the Falcons.
Well, maybe this offense has learned something from watching their counterparts work. I'm wondering if their coaching staff said, let's do what they've been doing the entire game because that's worked well. This offense, they have not looked particularly good all game long, but a nice throw there for a good gain and a first down.
Algier now up the middle. And this defense not giving him anything there. Maybe a yard up to the 36.
No doubt about it. A really nice job there by the defense, not allowing him to get to the perimeter. But that means your defensive ends, your outside linebackers, the guys that you pay big money to sack the quarterback, they also have to have interest in the running game as well. And they did a nice job there of holding the point of attack and not giving ground.
And they will only muster a yard here at the 38.
They know that old expression, it's not my night. It hasn't been his so far. I don't know if the legs are a little bit heavy. Sometimes having to hang out all day and play doesn't exactly play to your advantage, but it's been a tough go for him.
And every time he looks up, somebody's there defensively. That was the same case on that play. And he's got his man in stride, complete. And he is going to have a Falcons first down as they're able to get the third down conversion.
There's a nice pickup right there, and after watching that play, I'm thinking about all the lost opportunities that they've had so far in this game. But right now, just focus on continuing to move the ball the way they did on the last play.
On 1st and 10, it's Carter. And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. 2 yards the loss, 2nd and 12.
And now you have to wonder, partner, at what point in time do they forget the running game? It's been a struggle so far in this one. I would think they'd have to start throwing it a little bit more.
So the first down run lost a couple. Now they come up 2nd and 12. Give to Algier from the shotgun. And he's able to get across midfield and down into Buccaneer territory. They'll get 4 on 2nd down, but it leaves them with 3rd and still 9 to go.
Not too many offenses want to turn down long drives, but when you're down what they are, they've got to pay it off with some points.
Now play number 8 on this drive, and they need 9 yards to pick up the first on 3rd. From the gun, here's Cousins. Short throw caught by Pitts. And a nice job there defensively. They get him to the ground short of the first, right around the 42. Call it a gain of 6 on the play. And that'll bring up 4th down.
I thought they might take a shot down the field, but instead they ran a little drag route there. I think they were hoping he could catch it and run away from the defender. But a really good job keeping the play in front of them, and they force a 4th down.
Cousins to throw for it on 4th. And it's incomplete. They cannot convert, and they turn it over. The Falcons go for it, but it doesn't work out. And it'll be a turnover on downs. Well, that's another mistake there on the drop pass on 4th, and we've seen him do things like this all game.
It's not hard to figure out why they're down by that deficit. They haven't made plays that are going to keep them in the game or win the game all game long. That's another example right there. It all boils down at the end of it to execution. Either you make the play or you don't.
Now Mayfield and the Bucs come up on 1st and 10 at their own 42. They'll start this drive out on the ground. And it's a good acceleration there as he's across midfield to the 48-yard line. A gain of 11 to kick off the drive, and it's a quick first down. He continues to have a big night here under the lights carrying the football.
And some guys prefer night games. For whatever reason, their bodies react a certain way. They love the spotlight. Maybe that's what it is. The best seats in the house, the ones where he's carrying the football for his offensive teammates. The worst seats, the 11 guys trying to tackle him on defense.
So give him 2 yards there on the completion, and it's 2nd down.
At the Falcons' 45-yard line.
Now Mayfield running left on the option. And he stopped immediately there. Call it no gain on the keeper, and it's going to bring up a 3rd down. Well, for that being an option play, there really weren't too many options available for him, were there?
No, there weren't, and at least he was able to get back to the line of scrimmage, so they didn't lose anything, but you're exactly right. Nowhere to go.
Mayfield from the gun on 3rd down. Now he's going to step up, and he can't find a receiver, and he's brought down. Kentavious Street in there to drop him for a loss on the play. Well, he was really focused downfield, but there was really no viable options. The coverage was too good.
And the defense really quickened the tempo of that play with their pass rush because there was nowhere for him to go with the football. The only place he ended up, down on the ground.
Here's Riley Dixon now as he'll kick it away for the second time. His first punt, 45 yards. This looks good as well. And this will be out of bounds at the what here? The 12-yard line. The visitors' offense and their quarterback set to take the field once more. And he had it going in the first half, that's for sure. He's really had his way with his secondary. They've been powerless to stop him. And he'll look to keep it rolling right here. The Atlanta offense out there for their next drive. And a drive that stalled out last time. Went for it on fourth. Didn't get it. How does that translate? Evades the tackler and now some space. And he'll be corralled well upfield right around the 40-yard line. That one 28 yards on the ground. They finally caught up to him there at the end of the play, but great inside handoff, and what a powerful run.
The first few yards seemed relatively easy. Then it got tougher, right? And that's where he showed that he was not going to go down easily. He was not going to be denied until he got everything he could out of that run.
And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. It's a loss of 4 on the first down play.
I know they've got to be careful not to go to the well too often, but it's a fine line, isn't it? Because sometimes if you got success, you want to just keep pounding away.
But no success there. They rallied quickly on the defensive end. Cousins. And a quick throw here, that's complete. Pitch and catch there, good for 13. And they'll be faced with a 3rd and inches.
A gain of 13 brings up 3rd and less than a yard.
Cousins on the keeper. And he's going to have a Falcons first down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion.
I don't know about you, but I like this call. 3rd and inches, and instead of worrying about getting it back to a running back and maybe there's some penetration from the defensive front, just go ahead and take it, move forward, and pick up the first down.
And as we say often, shows confidence in your offensive line. Now a toss left side for Algier. Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 9.
Absolutely love the effort there. The ability to flow from his inside spot and stop that one at the line of scrimmage. Nice linebacker play.
They work now on 2nd and 9. On the counter, Carter. And he is swallowed up right at the line of scrimmage. 1 yard and now no yards. Have them looking up at a 3rd and 9 situation.
I would think as a play call, you want to look for some quick hitters to your tight end. Any type of a route to replace where that linebacker was. Because when you saw the speed with which he reacted and stuffed that play, maybe use that speed against him in the future.
Throwing is Cousins. Oh, this will be incomplete. The rush gets home just as he was letting that go. That could have been worse. Instead, it's 4th down.
Well, how about the coverage we just saw him break out on 3rd down? Dime defense, blanketed the field with extra defensive backs and speed, unable to find an open hole to complete that pass.
Now on 4th down, on is the punt team sending this one away. The Buccaneers offense and their running back, Bucky Irving, getting ready to go back to work. And as you take a look at the numbers, you have to imagine he was the topic of the halftime talk for this defense. We've got to find a way to slow him down. That's probably what they're saying. But nothing that they have done has worked so far. The Tampa offense ready to get their drive started. Obviously not the intended goal last drive. They had to punt the football, but still, they've got the lead here, and now a chance to add on to that lead if they can get points on this drive. 1st and 10 upcoming.
No gain on the play there, 2nd down.
He's having a big game running the football, but that one will hurt the yards per carry a little bit.
Yeah, but the average he's got so far, that's the type of average he wants to take with him to contract negotiations, doesn't he?
Mayfield to throw it. Over the middle, he finds Godwin complete. And they're going to have this across midfield and inside the 45. Last play, they got stuffed at the line. Different story here, over 20 yards.
At the 44-yard line.
I'll tell you what, a lot of those mid-range throws have been available because sometimes teams get too concerned about the deep ball and they leave too much space in front of them. And these guys have been taking advantage so far.
So 1st and 10, and if they score on this drive, might have to start digging in our second-half blowout material. Baker going to give it to Irving. And nothing much materializing there on the 1st down run. He'll get a couple, and that's it.
Brought down at the 42-yard line. It's a pickup of 3. Brings up 2nd and 7.
4th quarter coming up here on Thursday Night Primetime. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. Back now in Tampa. A lot of happy faces in the crowd at this point as their guys have a big lead here to start quarter number 4. Mayfield on play action. Over the middle to Evans. And that's going to be good for another 1st down as the tackle's made at the Falcons 30. They pick up 12 on the play there, and they move the chains.
1st and 10 at the 30-yard line.
1st and 10, and they've got 3 tight ends out there. A jumbo package look. Handoff running left, Irving. And taking it to the 15-yard line before he's brought down. Another nice gain, 16 yards there and a 1st down again. It carries like that. That's how they're going to continue to salt this thing away here, Charles, in the 4th quarter.
Yeah, how about that? A new set of downs. Clock continues to move. No better way to close out a game than to tap those mastodons you have up front and say, guys, keep pounding them. Let's keep the ball, keep their offense on the sidelines, and let's close this one out.
Yeah, give him 4 yards there. It'll be 2nd and 6.
2nd and 6.
Straight ahead, it's Irving. And he's into the end zone. Touchdown, Buccaneers. Bucky Irving with his 2nd touchdown of the night. And the Buccaneers have sewn this one up as they add to their lead here in the 4th. And you wonder now if he might be able to remove the helmet, put on the baseball cap, and watch the rest of this one from the sideline. His 5th touchdown pass of the game.
Say that again. Did you say 5th touchdown pass of the game?
Yes, sir.
But that's a heck of a performance, isn't it? Because they've had no answer for him at all game long. Receivers have been open constantly, and he hasn't missed a single one of them.
McLaughlin now to add the PAT. Now, this one was over a while ago as they just add on to their big lead. So this drive spans 7 plays. And in the end, the finishing touch, an 11-yard run. Following the touchdown, here's McLaughlin to kick off. And he takes this near the 25, just a little pass there, call it the 26. Atlanta prepped and ready for its next possession. Well, we said it at halftime that they would need a nearly perfect second half to erase that deficit that they were facing, CD. But unfortunately, the second half has pretty much been a carbon copy of the first.
Yeah, that early lead was almost insurmountable the way their opponent was playing. And, partner, they do have some good news, though. This one is getting close to being over, and they can try and hit the reset button starting tomorrow.
Play fake. Cousins. Oh, the Buccaneer pressure too much. Down he goes. They'll wind up losing 8 on the sack there, and it's second down.
Well, I wish this staff luck as they try to find positives about this performance by their offense as we move through the early part of the fourth quarter. That sack, the latest example. Down by a boatload, this offense simply can't keep up, and the quarterback is still taking hits. I'd get the backups in there if it were me.
So that complicates things a bit here. 18 yards to go now on second down. Throwing, Cousins. Wide open receiver complete. And he'll be dropped at the 36. It's a good gain of 18 on a play that originated back at the 18. With this game well in hand, perhaps we are seeing the coverage lighten up a little bit as they got burned there a bit for a first down.
But we certainly know the coach isn't happy along the sideline because he certainly wants them to finish this one out the way they started it. He doesn't want to give up any soft completions, no late points. He wants his lead to stay right where it is.
Credit him with a 1-yard gain there to make it 2nd and 9.
Yeah, things were pretty stacked up there in the middle of the line. A lot of bodies, not much space. I think ultimately he was fortunate to get anything out of that run.
So from the 37, here's 2nd and 9. Algier with another carry. And he's going to be met at the line of scrimmage and taken down. It's a loss of a yard, so it's back to 3rd and 10.
Oh, partner, that play brought back memories. Watching them string it out, letting the runner get all the way to the sideline area, but not letting him get out of bounds. They formed that picket fence and didn't allow him through.
Not only that, got him for a loss as well here. And one of the reasons they lead in the fourth quarter, plays like that.
Yeah, it took a little more time off the clock, making him do it that way, didn't it? That's coverage you'd expect to see in a tie game late. Not in a lopsided game like this. They are not letting up.
All right, they're going to try and keep hope alive here on 4th down. They're going for it. Got to try it here. He's back to throw. Over the middle, caught by London. But they're going to wrap him up as he'll go down well short of a first. The Falcons go for it, but it doesn't work out. And the Bucs are going to take over with excellent field position to boot. Well, they were 2 for 3 on 4th down tries. Now they're unsuccessful. That brings them down to 50%.
But that's a percentage you have to feel pretty good about. You know, 2 for 4, 2 for 3 before that. They finally get stopped again. That's okay. That's the type of team that'll keep pressing. In this situation, they'll continue to go for it.
On 1st and 10, here's Irvin. And he's going to be stacked up right at the line of scrimmage. Nothing there for him. 2nd down. His carries tonight, they're getting up there, so maybe one of those every now and then is understandable.
I would agree with that. Understandable every now and then. Sometimes you come back and you fake it to him and go play action. But other times you say, okay, they got him on that one. We'll come back to him in another carry.
A shotgun handoff here to Irvin. And he only manages a couple here down to about the 38-yard line.
Brandon, I've got to think this offensive line has got some smiles on its faces. And I know it sounds crazy, but they practiced for this back in training camp. They knew they'd be in situations where it'd be extra defenders in the box coming after them, trying to keep them from locking down a game. Right now, they want to show the world they're up to the challenge.
Quick throw there, but it's going to be incomplete. But their passing attack, even though that one was incomplete, has been really sharp in this one. It's resulted in a lot of touchdowns, and it looks like they're not going to stop throwing the football until the very end of this one.
Well, that will certainly make everyone involved on offense pretty happy because that gives them all a chance to pad their stats a bit. But as far as the actual need, you and I both know they can just run this clock out because this one, it was over a long time ago.
Well, they can probably live with that with this late lead in the fourth quarter. That's one of the few things that's gone wrong.
You're exactly right. This one was well in hand. That kick there was more for cosmetics, you know, to add to their score. Not getting it, that shouldn't harm them at all.
Looking to put a drive together. First down, they'll start with Algier. And no room that time, getting it to about the 46. Just a yard on the first down carry, so it's 2nd and 9.
Well, sometimes you just have to give credit to the defense. Great job there at the point of attack, holding up. They won their battles at the line of scrimmage, left him no space to try and run. A really nice job swarming to the ball carrier.
On play action, Cousins. Crossing route incomplete. He's got Pitts. And he's got this down to the 35. That'll put him right at 99 yards receiving now as he's got a first down.
Well, this game was decided a while ago, and that completion there, it's going to artificially inflate his passing numbers. So right now, the only one really applauding probably his agent as he thinks about angling for a new contract.
On 1st and 10, it's Algier. And he'll work his way inside the 30 now to the 28. Just what you want on a first down run. Call it 8 yards. And it's 2nd and 2.
Good yardage there on first down. Exactly what you want. Get yourself set up to keep making first downs. Keep the clock running. And if they're smart, you're starting to milk the clock. No hurry before you run your second down play.
They'll stick with Algier. And he stopped after a gain of 1. Not enough. Still a yard to go on 3rd down.
Let's give a lot of credit to the offensive line. They've been able to move the ball really well on the ground the entire game. And while that wasn't a huge one, that's okay. They'll take them in short, steady bursts.
Heavy set out there on 3rd and 1. It's Cousins on the sneak. And he is going to have the Falcons first down as they're able to convert, albeit not by much, on 3rd and a yard.
Well, they pick it up on 3rd and 1 on the quarterback sneak, and that's not easily done because there are extra bodies in there on the defensive side, and they're moving forward at the snap.
Yeah, I was certainly expecting a handoff, weren't you?
Yeah, I totally was. I thought they'd go with a back, maybe try and get a lead blocker in front. But as you talked about in different games, those guys with confidence in their offensive line, they just want to move forward and get it.
Officially, it's a 1-yard loss. That's going to bring up 2nd and 11.
And the big fella stuffed that one up in a big way. I think doubling him has to be a priority because you can't move up to the next level if you don't take care of him first.
So after the loss of a yard, they'll look to push forward here on 2nd down and 11. This is caught. And he doesn't quite make it, taking it within an eyelash. Dropped at the 1. Last play, they got stuffed at the line. Different story here, over 20 yards.